In a garden full of colour lived a beautiful rose. She was the most striking flower in the garden, with her vibrant red petals catching everyone's eye. Her petals were red and velvety, soft to the touch and a delight to behold. She stood tall and proud, always basking in the admiration she thought she deserved.
I am the prettiest flower here. Look at my delicate petals and sweet smell. None of you can compare to my beauty.
The other flowers were not impressed. They had heard her boast many times before. A prickly cactus stood nearby, listening quietly to the rose's constant bragging.
Beauty is not everything. Kindness matters too. We all have our own unique qualities.
What would you know? You're just a prickly cactus. You could never understand what it means to be beautiful.
The rose continued to boast, ignoring the wise words of the cactus. She ignored the other flowers, thinking they were beneath her. She thought they were jealous of her beauty, and that's why they didn't praise her. But the other flowers were simply put off by her pride. They valued humility and kindness over mere appearance. The sun shone brightly, bathing the garden in its warm glow, making every flower look beautiful in its own way. The flowers swayed gently in the breeze, enjoying the lovely day and each other's company. They enjoyed the beautiful day, but the rose just wanted to show off, missing out on the simple joys of the garden. Days turned into weeks, and the sun continued its relentless journey across the sky. The sun grew hotter and hotter, its rays becoming more intense with each passing day. The once pleasant warmth that everyone enjoyed now became an unbearable scorching heat. The flowers, which once stood tall and vibrant, began to wilt under the relentless sun. The rose in particular felt her delicate petals drying out, losing their soft texture. Her vibrant colour, which once caught everyone's eye, seemed to fade a little more each day. She longed desperately for a drop of water, but the rain clouds stayed away, leaving the garden parched.
Oh, how I thirst, she whispered, her voice barely audible.
The cactus, however, stood firm and unwavering. He was used to the hot sun and dry weather, thriving where others struggled. He had learned to store water in his thick stem, a skill that kept him alive and strong. He watched the other flowers wilting and felt a pang of concern for them. The rose, struggling to hold her head up, glanced around the garden, searching for any sign of relief. Her once bright eyes, now dimmed by the heat, saw the cactus standing tall and resilient. He seemed unaffected by the heat, a beacon of strength in the harsh conditions. A flicker of hope sparked within her, a small but powerful reminder that resilience was possible.
Cactus!
She called, her voice barely a whisper. The cactus looked over at her, his prickly exterior hiding his kind heart.
What is it, Rose?
Swallowing her pride, the rose spoke.
I need help. The sun is so hot and I am so thirsty. Can you spare a drop of water?
Her voice trembled with shame and desperation. The cactus could see the rose was struggling. He could have reminded her of her past behavior, but he knew that wasn't the kind thing to do. He decided to help.
Of course. I have stored some water in my stem. Come closer, and I will share some with you.
The rose, weak and ashamed, crawled towards the cactus. She had been struggling for days, her petals wilting and her stem bending under the weight of her own despair. She carefully took the drop of water he offered, her leaves trembling with gratitude. It was a small gesture, but it meant the world to her. It was the sweetest, most refreshing drop of water she had ever tasted. It felt like life itself was being poured back into her. Strength flowed back into her stem. She could feel her petals unfurling, her colours brightening and her spirit lifting.
As I drank, I felt a pang of guilt. I had always looked down on the cactus, thinking myself superior because of my beauty. I had been so proud and boastful, ignoring the cactus's kindness. I never thought I would need his help. Now he is the one helping me in my time of need. His strength and resilience are what I need to survive.
The cactus watched the rose regain her strength. He had always known that she would come to him one day. He didn't ask for thanks or apologies. He simply did what he knew was right. He knew that true kindness came without conditions. It was a lesson he had learned long ago. He was happy to help. Seeing the rose bloom again was reward enough for him.
Thank you. You have been so kind to me. I will never forget this. I realize now that I was wrong to be so proud. True beauty lies in kindness and humility.
The cactus smiled gently.
We all need help sometimes. True beauty comes from within, from being kind and compassionate.
The rose nodded, her heart full of understanding. From that day on, she was no longer boastful. She had learned a valuable lesson about humility and kindness. She treated all the flowers in the garden with respect, appreciating their unique beauty.
We noticed the change in the rose.
We welcomed her back into our circle.
The garden became a happier place, filled with the sweet fragrance of kindness and friendship.
And so, the proud rose learned that true beauty lies not in outward appearances, but in the kindness we show to others.